You are back. You were in Japan.
Yes.
As the ambassador.
And it's still an ally. Up until a week ago.
I was going to say, check your phone. Then you come back, and you recently just took a new job. Yeah. What's your new job?
Well, I'm doing daily show writing right now. So
what's your job?
Yeah, I'm working with Centerview, and I do write for the Washington Post, and I'm on CNN.
I thought you worked at an investment bank.
Yeah, Centerview.
Oh, Centerview.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I'm out there with a tech.
When did you join?
Yeah, about a month ago.
And when you got there, let me ask you a question. When you got there, how was it going?
Well, there's a 6-letter word that a lot of people are saying lately.
What's that?
Tariffs.
Yeah, tariffs. Was this a completely unexpected? I mean, he's been talking about tariffs forever. Yeah. It seems like, did your bank set aside anything for it? Did they know this was coming? Did they is there a basement where they keep things? Cash?
See, for the, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to breathe calmly.
Don't panic, because everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. 11 weeks and $11 trillion out the window. Arrivederci. Shalom Aleichem.
Whoa.
Yeah, bon voyage.
Look at you.
Yeah. And we only have 200 more weeks to go.
Right.
Yeah.
You think a trillion a week?
Yeah, as my father would say, so what could go wrong?
He takes it very easy.
Yeah,
is this the colonic that we need? In your mind.
Yeah, let me try to help you, John.
Please.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a Elon Musk measure.
What does that mean?
Well,
how many kids you have? What does that mean?
No. This is supposed to be a manufacturing renaissance. Manufacturing is going to come back. Screws next to Apple phones, as you said.
No.
Okay?
We're
robots. Yeah. Elon Musk has a 20,000-person factory in Shanghai, a 12,000-person factory in Berlin. When those get repurposed back in the United States, this is an incredible success. Until that time, it's an absolute failure. And what is really, I mean, on a serious note, also driving me absolutely crazy, we had China isolated. We had the whole world angry at China for exporting and destroying their economies, and we were going to be their hope and dream. We worked on getting Japan and Korea to align with the United States, isolate China. Now they're working their own economic deal, and we're isolated. It's really the most...
Japan and South Korea are working there
now with China.
Doesn't everybody trade with everybody?
Yes,
Isn't that the whole...
they were actually #1 foreign investor in the United States, Japan. 1 million Americans work for them. One of the biggest manufacturing countries that support manufacturing in the United States, Japan. It's the most reckless thing done by a president. I mean, there is natural disasters, human disasters. There's lightning creates a fire. There's arson that creates a fire. This is arsonist.
Right. But don't you think this is his MO? You know, I'm going to tell you the story. This is really the wrong direction to go in, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You look like you're taking...
I'm thinking of how I can do this.
I was going to bring some Excedrin for you.
Excedrin? What is this, the 40s?
Yeah.
I'll give you an Excedrin and a Pall Mall, and you'll be fine.
Oh, you're lucky I didn't...
For God's sakes.
I can give you something McKinley used.
All right. Here we go. Oh, don't do that. So I had a dog, and the dog would go outside, and he would eat whatever he could find outside, and it were generally things that a dog shouldn't eat.
I'm worried where this is going.
He comes back into the house, everything's fine.
And you would go
in the middle of the night, he would wake up, and he would vomit on the bed. I would turn the light on, and I would look to try and go get stuff to clean it. Then he would eat the vomit, and then look at me and go, I did good, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Isn't that what this is? No. Trump, I guarantee you, here's what's going to happen. Trump is going to announce he's going to eat the vomit and look at the country and go, huh?
He's giving China a get-out-of-jail card. They were in the doghouse with everybody. They were isolating. They were destroying steel plants in Chile. They were destroying steel plants in South Africa.
But they had Belt and Road. They were making tons of relationships with people.
But they were also exporting all their economic problems domestic all over the world.
Yes.
And they had
herding manufacturing in Malaysia,
all over the
Indonesia.
world.
Yes.
And they were isolated, and they were becoming a problem for everybody. We're going to be the safe haven. We've now become the problem. We've given them a get-out-of-jail card. This is, listen, the way I look at it, March Madness used to be about basketball.
Right.
Now it's about the Trump administration.
Right.
You used to do brackets, now you do 401ks. And you used to do portfolios. Yeah. I've never seen anything. I got to tell you,
I like my dog vomit metaphor much better than yours. I feel like mine was very direct.
No.
Yours?
No.
Now I'm thinking about seeding and everything else.
I'm telling you, I've literally.
He's going to announce.
But the only thing that I could say good about this,
yeah,
is you see all these CEOs on the shows that are all now like, this is crazy, this is insane. I'm gonna say, schmuck, what took you so long? I mean, I cannot believe all these guys running around. Oh, it's the largest tax increase in American history. Thank God for the American people. They think this is horrible. He says, I'm going to cut.
They don't. You listen to his people?
No, his people. I'm talking about the American people, not his people. It's totally different.
No. That's,
God, no.
This is the wrong way to look at this.
No. His people are literally, they're grasping the English language down to 4 words. Yes, sir, Mr. President.
His people were the majority of the voters in this country.
No, I worked for 3 presidents. I used to be 6'2". I'm now only 5'8". Your job is to go in the Oval Office and tell them, you're out of your mind. These guys, yes, they go off and they repeat all this crap on TV. Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, he makes a used car salesman look like a decent guy. Right. I've never seen anything like this. Let
me tell you this, and that from your whole rant there, no way you're 5'8". There's no way. No way. There's no way. I'm 5'7", and I could dunk on you.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
There's no way. I'm taller.
Right. No, not a chance.
So listen to this.
I play Jewish basketball.
Trump is going to say Jewish basketball. That's Wilt Chamberlain. Trump is going to say what he's going to do is go, I just made a deal.
Yeah.
He did the same thing the last time. China just said they're going to buy all our pork and all our soybeans. It's the best deal anybody's ever made ever. They don't actually ever do it. Nobody ever checks on it. But why, even if you wanted to renegotiate our trade agreements or create a fair system or whatever it is you want to do, why would you do it in such a reckless fashion?
All right, I want to go back to your first point.
Please.
In your book here, The Art of the Deal, he is the worst negotiator. China never bought anything. They took him to cleaner. North Korea never agreed to anything. He negotiated the trade deal with Canada and Mexico, and then he just blew it up.
He's blowing up his own deal.
Yeah. He is not a good negotiator. The only when you claim you're a good negotiator, it's to cover up the fact that you're a horrible negotiator. You could have done this 7 different ways. He picked the 8th way.
Right.
And the problem is not just, and you are right, he's going to say after Japan or after Israel, I got this deal, and then he's going to try to calm the markets down. But the fact is the damage to America, nobody will ever trust us. In 8 weeks, he's destroyed 80 years of reputation that America built, all of us collectively. All through all the battles, he has destroyed it. And just like your dog, he threw up on the bed.
That was my point. That was the point of the whole story.
Yeah. But
Did you miss the point of the whole story? That was my point.
But I wanted to say it my way, and I feel better for being here. Thank you, John.
You think I just brought that up randomly? No, that was... Now, let's do the other side of the coin.
Okay.
Democratic policy has led us, in some measure, to this moment.
No doubt about it. We got to own this. Here's the fact, which is we disappointed the country. Now, they will stab you in the back. We will disappoint you. And that's just down to where it is. And you get to pick as the American people.
That's the choice.
That's the good news now. Okay? Now, and we got it. And here's the deal.
Didn't you want to be the DNC chair? That is a terrible bumper sticker.
No, you asked me. No, but you know how
why disappoint you.
We got to be honest.
Yes.
When you make a mistake, you got to own it, and that's the only way to be. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
We were just talking earlier.
Yes.
The Stewart kids and the Emanuel kids, they're going to be good. Loving home, good education. And the American dream, they're going to get a shot at it, which is a deal. But in fact, out of Washington, the American people, haven't gotten the shot. They've gotten the shaft. And what happened is trying to own a home, trying to basically save for your retirement, save for your kids' education and health care so you're not in the poorhouse one sickness away. People are missing medications. Kids are coming home from college. They're living in the basement. And the American dream is good for only about 10% of the kids. That's not how we keep score. And we are responsible for not keeping faith with that.
Then, can't you understand why a percentage of the population would be like, burn it down?
No.
I don't care.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
More than that, because of what happened both in Iraq war, what happened in the financial meltdown, the American people lost their lives, their livelihood, and the elite let them down. There is no doubt that they're right to be angry. I have no problem with some of the people that make up the MAGA. They have a right to be angry because the elite lost faith with them. What I have is all these other executives who've lived large on America, who allow a president to run roughshod over the law, who run roughshod over America. Right. They have no right to that.
But that's not owning the Democratic failure. That's, again, placing it too. So let's stay with...
The Democrats have a responsibility. They have, for what they have done with losing faith. You can't let Peoria, Youngstown, you can't let parts of Wisconsin, La Crosse.
But we did.
No, we did. And that's why the first thing, sorry. We owe you. No, we do. You have to get clean with people, own what we did wrong, and worst case scenario, we then get sidetracked into side issues rather than the main cause, which is the American dream.
So how would Democrats bring that back?
The American dream is unaffordable.
Right.
It's inaccessible.
Yes.
And that should be unacceptable to us. And then number two, what you have to do is right now is to deal with the fundamentals, okay? No part of America is off from being invested or invested in. You got to make sure every American has a chance at the American dream, which means it starts first and foremost with education.
Oh, Rahm. Even when we did...
Wait a second, hold on.
No, don't...
No, wait a second. I've got one. I've got to own that. Okay, number two, you own with the fact is you got to invest in this country, and we did not do that. We basically let Americans and let the Chinese eat their lunch, and that's not fair.
Even when they did it, I was talking to Ezra Klein. We were talking about rural broadband. Billions of dollars invested in rural broadband. There was a 14-point plan to get companies to the starting line to go to build. Out of all the companies that jumped in there, everybody dropped out but 3. Nobody got to the starting line by the time their administration was over. They invested in green technology. They didn't build the electric charging stations. How can you go out there and say, we need to raise taxes and money when people don't believe that you're going to spend it? Like, here's what's so upsetting about all of this. Trump is great at diagnosing the problem. Doge is great at telling you we need efficiency. I think the way they go about it is actually haphazard, cruel, reckless, doesn't fix the problem. But they're not wrong in the diagnosis.
Yeah, you pointed out, and I agree with you 100% of what we did all passing the legislation should be hard, not actually getting the resource out. On the other hand, let me give you one reverse. Can
I ask you, is this about a dog?
No. It's about when the auto industry was on their back, and there were literally, I remember as the chief of staff for President Obama, and we got a notice that there were 6 weeks left before Chrysler and GM are belly up. And thousands of jobs and thousands of communities were on their back. The United States came in and saved it. And our auto industry came back. So, in fact, there is moments you can point to. You can't get a charging station. You go... Wait a second.
But even that...
I'm not saying... Look...
But let's talk about 2008 for a second. We did bail out corporations.
Yes.
But people, homeowners... who went under, they lost everything.
John, you're looking at the guy 100%.
It's hard for me to go like, oh, good, we saved GM when all the guys that work at GM lost their houses.
You're looking at the guy. Well, that's cheap. That's not actually true. GM jobs got saved rather than go back. Some people were
arguing for... But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, yes, but you were not totally accurate. This may be the last time I'm asked on the show.
Not at all.
But on the second thing, here's the thing. We did do, and we saved the auto industry from going under. And the second thing is on that part. And as somebody who was in the White House that advocated for Old Testament justice on bankers, because they should have been brought into the public square and literally had the crap beat out of them because they were asking for bonuses when people were losing their homes.
Wait. That's what you argue in the Oval Office?
No.
They're all like, what should we do about the thing? And they're like, beat them! Whip them!
Actually, to be all fairness, it wasn't the Oval Office.
Put them in a stockade!
It wasn't the Oval Office. It was in the Roosevelt Room. Yeah, they should be beaten up because they're sitting there asking for their bonuses. as if they earned a bonus when people lost their homes, their livelihood, and their life savings.
That's right.
And that is where we lost faith in the Iraq war, which is built on deception. The liar's loan that lost people their homes, it was built on deception. And then you got COVID coming around, and the Democrats sat around and acted like they were scientists.
Do you ever watch what this president is doing and think, because you did.
I do, but I put it on mute.
Stop. You're in the Oval Office. You're watching him do all these different things. Do you ever think, because President Obama, and this is what he used to yell at me about. I used to have to, I don't know if you were there when I used to have to go down there and he would yell at me for a while.
I was the one that called you.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So,
but it was when he was with you, I got free time and I actually got the work
is that
done.
true?
Right? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So do you watch what this president does in terms of at least the boldness of it, not what he's doing, and think, why didn't we push the edge and get the things that we thought, rather than getting, if we ran on the audacity of hope, why did we govern on the possible? Is that something?
Well, the answer is in the Talmudic way, yes and no.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. No, yes, I was like, no. I feel like, don't ever say that again. Okay, or I'll have to give you.
I understand.
This hand.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Or the back of my, no.
I know.
Here's the thing. Sometimes I look around, I set up a blind trust. You look at these people, they're literally trading, they're setting up Bitcoin. I was like, well, we were schmucks. We were idiots for doing this. On the other hand, nobody would ever had an ethics problem in the Obama White House. We did follow the rules of law. America was respected around the world, and we did create jobs. So did we follow it and say, oh, we should have done it audaciously like this and break over? No, because
what would you have done, though, if you could?
We have to do 3 more shows.
All right.
No, but I say on the defense of President Obama.
It's not a defense, not even an accusation.
He said, my presidency is a marathon, and I hand over the baton to somebody else to pick up. I actually think he left America better than the one he inherited from President Bush in a whole host of ways. I don't agree with everything. And then you look at this. No, I don't wish we did this. And I'm glad we didn't do this. Was it constraining? Yes. But leaving here, literally walking around saying, there will be a recession. What do you need a 401k for? No, and then
I don't mean blow up the economy. I mean to push things in a way that didn't follow such.
Well, somebody who pushed a number of people, known for that.
That's why I'm asking you this question.
There are things, there's no doubt, like what they're about to do. Let's take this on the budget and say, well, $5 trillion in the tax cut doesn't cost anything. Well, I'm sorry, any kid in 3rd grade math, even post-COVID, knows what $5 trillion does cost, okay? I mean, give me a break. So when they sit there and do all this, they got it, you didn't get it.
I got it. I'm just adding up how many Americans you've called stupid tonight.
No.
I'm just going through the list.
No, I start off with the
children. I want the bankers beaten. I want the dumb children removed.
No, wait a second. I think the American people agree with me about bankers getting beaten.
No, they're not vigilantes. No, it's a cheap high.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm only here for 20 minutes, so it feels pretty good.
Here's what we need.
Okay, but the thing is, do I feel like I could, back to your original question, do I feel like we should have done certain things like this? Yeah, but that for a guy, I believe in the end of the day, following the rules, playing by the rules is better for the country than trying to...
Ultimately.
Not just ultimately, also at the time. There are definitely frustrating things. There are things that what I will say this is you look at like what they did on the courts and how they stacked them versus the way we did it in the sense of the process, full background checks, et cetera. You could have no doubt pushed that much harder and much faster. No doubt about it.
And so if you were going to, we'll leave it at this. Final advice, you're a guy that's been in the Oval Office a few times. The Democrats are in the wilderness. I'm assuming that whoever is going to be the next leader of the Democratic Party is going to come from the wilderness, like it usually does. Clinton came out of nowhere. Obama came out of nowhere. Generally, the successful ones, even Jimmy Carter, come out of nowhere. Who's the next? Who's the next? And what would you want them to be?
No, here's what I would, on a serious note, I do want them. I want them not part of Washington. I want them to have governed. I want them to be a true change agent. And I want them to understand one thing. The biggest thing we have to do is restore the credibility and trust with the American people.
Competence.
It's more than competence. Competence counts, but it's not what keeps you up. The fair deal, the New Deal, the New Frontier was not about competence. It was about having a vision in America, holding America to that North Star. And that
Give me 3 people that you would call on to write that vision, to have that vision, to help you with that vision, to be that vision.
3?
3.
Okay. I got 6 for you. Okay. Okay. Here, hold on. Let me give you.
No, I'm writing it down.
You got it? You want this one? It's better. It's a little better on that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, John, your dog was playing with that beforehand.
That's good. All right.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Governor of Pennsylvania, Shapiro.
You're just talking about the...
Yeah, you asked me who...
But these are the usual... Okay, so you're saying it's going to come from the
well,
Shapiro,
Bashir,
Whitmer,
look, hey,
Gavin Newsom.
The one constant in American history
yeah.
is governors have been the most likely to make it to Washington because they bring change. Both parties, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton. You go to Woodrow Wilson, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Governors are your most likely change.
Would you give a Mark Cuban a shot, somebody like that? Totally out of the box?
No. No, I wouldn't, because I think that you actually have to have, the currency you work on in politics is politics. And if you don't have experience in it, no. And I do think governors bring change, people that understand, but the most important thing to me is, can you articulate that vision that takes America out of this wilderness to a better place, to a better thing? Because when you're done with this, it's going to be a lot of carnage.
Young man. Rahm Emanuel.